Welcome to Saturday Night Sports. I'm Zakk, Condor, the host. Got a variety of people with us tonight. Gonna have a great evening. First things first, we're gonna start off the show with what we like to call the bird's nest. Now, would you like to explain what that is?
It's basically what would you say, a hot topic, the hot topic, or a like a sound off type thing. Basically, your feelings about maybe something you're upset with, maybe, or feeling strong about. I would say.
All right, cool. Well, I think my hot topic of the week has to do with the narrative of course, I guess, my favorite team, the Miami Dolphins. I think, and this is why I say that, going into last week, all I saw in that pregame up to like 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of kickoff, it was Gardner Minshew, the Jaguars, Gardner Minshew, the Jaguars. It wasn't Miami in the rebuild. It wasn't what the future holds. It was none of that. It was all future of Jacksonville, nothing of Miami. Miami comes into Jacksonville, takes care of business. 31-13 victory. And in my mind, all I'm hearing is excuses. Oh, Jacksonville isn't this. Oh, Jacksonville isn't that. All the broadcasting people on Thursday night all picked Jacksonville. Yet Miami took care of business. If I think Jacksonville would have won, it would have been, oh, Gardner Minshew. Oh, Gardner Minshew. Tired of it. Tired of it. Am I wrong to feel this way?
I don't think so. I mean, the whole time, like you said, the pre-show was how Jacksonville has transitioned from that AFC Championship team to now. And like you said, there was a lot of the. I mean, honestly, I heard more about the beards and the mustaches than I heard about the Dolphins. Um, but I mean, I feel like the Dolphins did the right thing. They played on the field. They didn't let the talking heads take care of business. But I mean, your point's further, vindicated by what Michael Irving said at halftime. So basically, it was predicting that Fitzpatrick was going to go out and throw some picks and throw the game away. It seemed to me like he did the opposite. So but at this point, what do you expect? I mean, you're in the beginning of a rebuild. A lot of things are changing, and you don't have all your full pieces. So I think there's going to be judgments and maybe false or negative narratives. So I think it's unfortunate, but I mean, if you're a fan of the team, you got to really pay attention and understand what's really going on. Don't let the talk get you down. There's a lot of positive things to be seen in the Dolphins camp.
I totally agree 100%. I don't want to ramble on too much because you know how I am. There's a lot of bright spots. Obviously, there's still a lot of growth. I'm not up here trying to sit on my throne and preach and try to tell you that they're going to win this, they're going to do that. No, I just think that Brian Flores and the coaching staff and what they're doing right now, they show they need some credibility. I didn't come out and say we were going to win the first 2 weeks. I saw what happened. I saw they were trending up. I saw how they've been progressing. That's why I called that Thursday night victory. That I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to sit up here and preach about it. But that's just what I felt strongly about.
So see, it was a good start to the bird's nest. Exactly. The feelings or your emotions and maybe backing something you've been proving.
Yes, I like this. Yeah, I like this. All right, so let's bring in the supporting cast this week. Okay, we got the return of Jonah and Ace. How you doing, bud? How you been?
Oh, I'm alive. How you guys doing?
We are doing. Happy to be here.
Oh yeah.
Good to see you, Ace.
And then
Yes.
you got your boy, Hot Pick CJ.
There he is.
What's new? What's new? I can tell you what's new, or is it new? What's going on in Atlanta?
Woman, no.
Not going on in Atlanta. There's a lot going on in Atlanta right now, and it's not winning. It's not holding leads. It's a lot going on in Atlanta right now. That game is very disappointing because it was a mockery of Atlanta. So, Dan Quinn's has got to go. I mean, I'm not sure if everybody else feels that way. I'm not sure if Atlanta fans feel that way, but Dan Quinn's has got to go. There's no way you can blow a lead like that.
Again?
Again. There's no way you can blow a lead like that again when the games matter. So it was very bad. It was very bad. It was a very bad, coaching calls, coaching decisions, and it wasn't. Dan Quinn is definitely on a hot seat right now.
Jonah?
Honestly, that defense needs to be better than even what they were. I mean, they caused 3 turnovers, but they still weren't able to stop a pretty hot offense of the Cowboys. They should have blown out the Cowboys. I'm putting it all on the defense.
I don't even think it was really on the defense. I think it was just that, Dan Quinn didn't put his offense in a situation to win the game. Where when you are up 20 points in the third quarter, just run the clock out.
Right.
It shouldn't be no reason why you're passing the ball, more than 20 times in the third quarter. It didn't make no sense at all. It didn't make no sense.
And I agree with that, but you're looking at an Atlanta defense that allowed almost 500 passing yards for Dak Prescott.
Yeah,
450 pass yards, along with another, 130, 140 yards rushing. I mean, how can't you put it on the defense?
Well, I mean, part of it is the defense, but how I feel is the defense is only as good as your offense. If you can't keep the defense off the field for a certain amount of time, then, you can only ask for so much of the defense. Like you said, They had 3 turnovers, but they just couldn't stop, a high offense, which is true. But the other thing that you got to look at is in the third quarter, when you went 3 and out at least 5 or 6 times in the third quarter, that plays a part on the defense total.
I don't know if they're. See, I don't think I would jump to taking Dan Quinn out. I think we need to question how many guys in the locker room have bought in to what Dan Quinn's doing. When you have a locker room that buys in, let's look at Miami last year. We can all agree Miami's talent level was subpar besides maybe a couple individuals who outperformed or performed at a level they were expected to. They bought in to Brian Flores. So they all played as a better team. I think you see a bunch of guys out there who half of them believe, half of them don't. But I think that's also the case in Philly. The Carson Wentz deal. The guys, Nick Foles comes in for playoff games. They buy in. They win a Super Bowl. But Wentz comes in, they don't buy in, and they kind of play subpar. So I think maybe there's individuals on the team that are causing problems. I think we need to look at rosters maybe before you gut a head coach. Finding a head coach is harder than replacing superstar talent at a role position or a skill position.
Okay, how about let's not put it all on Quinn last game. Let's ask the question of special teams. Can you do your job? How many people there's the ball. There it goes. No, that's not what you're taught. You're taught to jump on that.
Yeah.
There was at least 3 or 4 dudes just watched the ball roll right by him. Oh, the mockery of the Cowboys. Or is it the Cowboys now? Is it the Falcons?
Well, you guys know that, they're in Washington, I know a little bit about losing, leads after the second half. Last year we have had at least 4, 5, 6 games where we were leading, at halftime, and then we didn't score at all after halftime. Things like that can happen. You can't have a big push in the first half and then have no push in the second half. It never works. It never works out. No matter how big the lead is, there is no lead if you can't keep it.
It's true.
Agreed.
I can agree with that. Okay. So, moving right along here. I know there's some people who got some what they call hot takes.
Oh, hot takes.
The recap of Chiefs Chargers. Interesting to say the least, I think. So right off the bat, we'll just get to the key story of it all. Tyrod Taylor gets his lung punctured by the team doctor before the game. What is going on there? Like, what?
It doesn't make sense. There's no way you can make sense of what happened. There's no way you can make sense of what happened.
It's nuts. Could this be a Tom Brady situation with how Bledsoe went down and Tom Brady got put in the game? It was different. It was different entirely. But I'm talking about success.
Yeah, but Drew Brees also had a freak. Drew Bledsoe had a very freakish injury. You know what I'm saying?
Is this not a freakish injury though?
I mean, the doctor didn't cause it. The doctor didn't cause for Drew Bledsoe, leg to snap like that. It was more of I just can't make sense of what happened in LA. And
it was nuts.
Like when I heard about it, and just like how do you accidentally puncture somebody's lung? Like as a doctor, you should know your anatomy pretty well. So how is it that you accidentally puncture your lungs? Like it just doesn't make sense. I'm not taking anything away from Herbert. Herbert had a pretty good game against Patrick Mahomes. We're gonna talk about that soon, but I just didn't like it. It didn't look right to me, and it still wouldn't. It's never gonna look right to me.
That's what I'm saying. It was all it was just weird. It was way too weird, and how it all came about, and then we don't find out till middle of the week, I believe it was.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But then, okay, so let's get into the game itself. You have Herbert starting, dude comes out, balls out. I know a couple of people who they thought highly on him. Personally, I watched him last year in the spotlight in prime time. Didn't play so well. He wasn't in prime time. Excuse me. The dude played well. So 50-50. It's interesting to say, but the dude showed up. He proved critics wrong that he can play in my mind as of one game. I just hope that he can continue to do so, as he is the starter indefinitely. So let's transition over here to Albatross. What are you thinking about this?
I think I don't know. Back on the doctor situation, I guess I want to ask questions as, are we seeing other impacts from the whole pandemic situation? I think our list of injuries is also an impact of the whole pandemic. These guys losing training time, losing the ability to play with their teammates, formulate bonds.
Chemistry.
So we need to think from a business aspect. These businesses have to be losing money. No fans in the stands. They got to pay these guys. I know they have contracts and ways and unions that take care of this, but we got to think maybe they're cutting costs in other ways. It's just questions, speculation. I would like to know those maybe answers. Maybe find somebody who could maybe answer those questions. But on the game itself, I was quite surprised. I wasn't sure what the Chargers were going to look like personally. I thought they'd played well through the first 2 weeks, but nothing to write home about. I feel like this was the game that you can really write home about. I feel like they came out, maybe used the energy of playing the Chiefs, obviously a division rival, to their advantage. And played to his strengths. Herbert is a good runner. I think he's an instinctual runner, not necessarily by design as much. And he turned good plays. He threw good passes in situations. He played opportunistic, maybe a good portion of the game. We'll see what happens next week with his play.
Now that you have a week of, tape, defenses can kind of prepare.
Exactly. We could say it's probably due to the fact that there was no tape besides college.
Right.
Individual plays, you look at the Chargers and they control the first half. We look at on the stat sheet and they control the whole game. really overall, you look at the passing yards, rushing yards, all of it. It went to the Chargers. Um, there was just a couple of different instances I feel really changed the game. You go, I believe it was in the fourth when they go to the pass to Tyreek Hill down the sideline. He catches the ball, rolls in. When he rolls in, he takes his helmet off. No penalty is called, which automatically gives the advantage to the Chiefs because they get to kick their PAT and or 2-point conversion. So they go in with a tie ball game. Yes, the Chargers drive down a 12-minute drive. They get 3 out of it. But that totally changes the outlook of Patrick Mahomes and that offense. They can do whatever they want just as long as they get 3. We have OT. I feel if that play is called, you have the Chargers who are up by 2. Say they go down and get 3 again. That's a 5-point lead. That really changes their outlook.
Yeah.
So I feel like that. Unfortunately, we've seen ref play into outcomes of games during the first half of the season. This one I feel impacted it. Just right in front of everybody. We saw it happen in real time.
Yeah, that one missed call changed the aspect of the whole game. And honestly, I just feel as though because they're Super Bowl champs. If it was any other game, that penalty would have been called with no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Can you say that one more time?
Say that again.
Can you say that one more time?
If that was any other game, it would have been called.
Yep.
For sure. Okay. So anything else you got on that, Jonah? You good?
All I have to say is Herbert was my favorite quarterback coming out of this draft. I loved seeing the success that he had for his very first game, and I hope he keeps it up. I really do. Love the guy to death.
Good stuff. I like it. I'm pretty hopeful for the kid. Like I said, I was kind of one of his critics, so to see him, in my mind, go out there and duel it out with Mahomes, I mean, right there, a chance to win the game.
It just sucks that this game alone is tainted by the
Tyrod Taylor incident.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
He played great, but now this is tainted by the Tyrod Taylor incident, and it sucks. It sucks.
Yep. I agree. All right, here we go. You guys ready for this one? I kind of like this one. This is going to be fun. Cam Newton comes out and says it's not about the money. I've made the money. It's about the respect. I want people to respect me. Has Cam Newton earned your respects? I want to start with CJ on this.
Yes, he definitely earned my respect. It shows that he can still be the Cam Newton that we all, known and watched beforehand. He just need a coach that can believe in him. And I think Bill Belichick is the coach to actually, believe in him and bring out the Cam Newton that went to the Super Bowl. It just sucks that, it took so long for a team to pick him up as quick. But then you got to look at Jadeveon Clowney. Look how long it took him to get picked up. He got picked up off a technicality. He didn't really get, didn't really get picked up because of his skill, for that matter. It's because of the technicality. Somebody needed him. But yeah, I think Cam does deserve respect, and he's my pick for comeback player of the year.
Jonah.
I agree with a lot of what you said, except I don't think that he has earned the respect yet. It's been 2 games. And they're 1-1. Granted, he has 4 rushing touchdowns already this season out of 2 games.
Majority he got against Miami. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah. But I don't think that he's earned it yet. Ask me again middle of the season, and I bet it'll change. But right now, I don't think so. He's so.
I like that. I'll mark that down. We'll come back to this mid-season. And what do you think, Albatross? What you thinking?
I don't know. I have to call Ace out on this one. You say that it's only been 2 games, and I'm not even a Cam Newton fan. I think he's an exceptional football player. I think he earned my respect when he won his MVP. Yeah, he lost in the Super Bowl, but let's be honest, the guy was just on point, passing wise, rushing wise, everything. He earned my respect a long time ago. National championship win. He earned my respect. I respect the guy. I just want to see him go into an organization, show he's unselfish, and create the team, make the team better around him. Because I know he's a great player. There's no arguing that point. Yep. I just want to see him continue to play. Honestly, that Patriots offense, he plays really well inside that. McDaniels has done a great job of tailoring the offense to add his skills in there. So I think it's a great fit. It again proves why Belichick and that front office is considered one of the greatest of all time.
I like it. Yes, I like it all. So I will throw in I got to see this week 1. There was no tape on the guy besides Carolina. What we're going to get from a Bill Belichick Cam Newton team. I think it was the smartest thing the Patriots could have done. And it's interesting we're talking about this because me and you, my brother, we said this. I had many conversations where but Bill Belichick in the combine or during the draft, I believe it was, shortly after, they had talked about the quarterback room and going in with the guys they had. And I believe it was Hoyer and Stidham. And I don't think they had a third, or they were talking about maybe potentially getting a rookie. And he just had this smirk on his face. And I'm like, this dude is just waiting. And they waited till the last minute, pulled in Cam, worked out great. I'm like, personally, I hate to see it because he's in my division, but I've always liked Cam Newton, and I'm glad that he was brought in again to, like, Albatross said here, a great organization historically, and they've played right into his abilities. They haven't said, hey, Cam, I need you to do this for me. They said, Cam, come work hard, come be a leader, we'll play to your likings. Showed up so far pretty well. Well, like I said, we'll return to this. Good takes for sure. We'll return later in the season. I got it marked down already, so definitely watch for take 2 on this as the season progresses. On to the next topic. We're going to start with the Raiders fan in the room. Struggling Saints or surging Raiders? Go ahead and give me your thoughts on this.
I have to go with both on this one. I mean, you look at the injuries that the Saints have right now. Michael Thomas is out. That was definitely broke them, especially for this game. Because let's be honest here, the Raiders' pass defense isn't amazing by any means. Thomas would have had a field day against them.
Mm-hmm.
But the pass rush was getting to Breeze as well. Crosby, dude's a force. I love that guy. But I also believe now we are seeing Derek Carr finally flourishing under this John Gruden offense that everyone seems to hate so much.
So you're telling me there's a chance that John Gruden knows what he's doing?
I always believed he knew what he was doing. I just didn't believe that it was going to work for this specific roster. But now we've got Josh Jacobs who can run the ball almost at will, which is a big part of this offense. We've got, Waller, who you dump it off to him for 3 yards. He's going for 30.
Oh, yeah. That dude's an incredible story. Yeah. Like, you want to see a guy who came back from, some of the worst addiction problems and off the field issues to bring it all back together and say, I can be that guy. Like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like I tell people, it's about the mentality, man. Like, If football is what you really want to do, if playing on the field is what you really want to do, you got to have that mindset. So day in, day out, you got to want to push yourself. And this is why it sucks to see, such a talent like Josh Gordon, not be in the mix right now. But Waller has a great story. By far, arguably one of the best tight ends in the league right now.
I think I want to make a point on both. So I'm going to go with the Raiders. I think Raiders fans are finally starting to see some fruition on the fact that they traded away the best defensive player in the league at that time, Khalil Mack, okay? At that time, it was like, really, you go for John Gruden, who hasn't been in the league for a while, to getting rid of Khalil Mack because they couldn't get along. Now we're seeing things. He's working his roster in the right direction. Kept Carr, even though a lot of people told him to get rid of him. It was a really good job of not listening to the noise outside of the locker room. I feel like you're seeing things come together. So, I think they definitely are surging in the right direction. Now, here's my big take on the Saints, and I've said this and I've got critics on it already. I don't think the Saints are going to be even a shade of what they were. Now, the reason why is I think you're seeing that time and that age catch Drew Brees, just like we're watching Tom Brady. These guys look average. Now, when was the last time we've ever said they've looked average? I know I was still in high school when we could say that they were average. So go ahead.
Let me ask you this. It's a question that will they groom Taysom Hill for the future, or will they just keep using the package that he's in?
I feel they're just going to continue to use him the way they have. There's been very, very small amounts of times we've watched him under center and throw the ball and read the defense. If he was under center, it would become this option read, type bootleg, run play. So I feel like that's where we could say that the front office or the coaching staff has maybe let their fan base down and let their talent down, because I think the kid definitely had a future at a quarterback position, but they definitely wasted some time.
I can agree with that. I'd say you're definitely seeing Drew Brees have somewhat of an off year. It could be, that downtrend. It could be, he is finally getting older and it's hitting him. Or it could be that his favorite weapon, top target's not there right now. I'm curious to see what happens if, they get healthy and back on track and if the Saints can get hot. He's just been one of those guys over the years, that offense. If they get going, they get going. And it's crazy. And it's just, it's such an interesting thing just to see it come to such a dead halt. So interesting there on the Raiders. I've been seeing it. You saw it last year. Jacobs and what'd you say? Oh man, your big man on the inside, Crosby. Those two steals, just steals of that draft when you guys got them. Love seeing them. They're both just play hard. Just love being a part of that organization and what Gruden's doing. And that's the biggest thing. It goes back to what Albatross was saying earlier, how people buying into the system. You're slowly starting to see these Raiders buy into the system and what Gruden's preaching, and you're starting to see teams playing better. Maybe this is, again, the year Carr starts getting hot again, as long as he doesn't get his leg or ankle broken, whatever it was. I cannot remember 100%. Pretty sure it was an ankle.
Or it's just hot because they're in the desert. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out, though.
If anybody can agree with me,
huh?
If anybody can agree with me, the Raiders' offensive line has improved very much.
Oh yeah, they look a lot better. That's the biggest thing. So
they got better about that game. They started off not so great.
This is also true. So since we're talking about the surging Raiders and them getting better and continue to get better, are we starting to see a change? Or is it a change? Or is it what we saw 2 seasons ago? Okay, I'll see CJ here. We got to let him go. Go ahead. Let her rip.
I'm with Jonah here. When we talk about Cam, holler at me back in week 8. Just come back to me at week 8 because I'm sorry. I still think Nick Foles is the better quarterback. I still think he should be starting. Mitch, I'm not taking anything away from you from your last game, but I'm not sold on it yet. I'm not sold, not at all. He has the legs, he don't have the arm.
Okay, Jonah.
I 100% agree with everything you just said. I mean, Foles isn't a great quarterback by any means. Yes, he's got the Super Bowl win, but then he went down to Jacksonville, and he was a joke. He was an absolute joke. Trubisky, I did not understand why Chicago took him so early in the draft. It was awful.
Passed up on Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's. I guess that's something for another time. Housekeeping.
All right. So I'm going to jump in here. Yeah,
Anyway.
I'm gonna say that they're for real. Okay, I'm gonna be the only guy in here that's gonna say they're for real, and this is why. Okay, there's one stat. Okay, let's compare. You said Patrick Mahomes and Mitchell Trubisky. So let's take out playoff anything. Okay, playoff victories.
So
regular season. Their win statistics are about the same. Patrick Mahomes maybe has one more victory than Mitchell Trubisky, and they were drafted in the same class. So does this kid know how to win? Yes, he does. He has a pedigree for winning so far. Now, this is an issue in multiple teams that we see already. What happened in the Bears season when they went 12-4? He was able to read the defense, react, use his legs, and create plays. He has a better tight end now in Jimmy Graham, who decided he actually wanted to catch some balls. I haven't seen him play like this in a little bit. You also have a good receiver in Allen Robinson. They also have Gabriel. They have other individuals who can make plays. When you give this kid time, he makes the right decision. Now, when he's getting hit, he makes all the wrong decisions, and he looks horrible. So I think they're for real if they can keep him standing up. If they start to allow him to get pressure, put him in bad situations, the Bears are going to go in the direction they don't want to go, and I think is drafting a quarterback next year.
So, quick question while I give my piece on this. Who are they playing this week, tomorrow? Anybody want to hit me with that if you get a chance? As I'm going through my little piece on him, I would say I like what I see from him this year. I see a kid who's not
Falcons.
Okay. So that'll be interesting. I like to see, like I said, I like to see what I'm seeing from him currently, because of how he is making the correct reads. I mean, late in that Detroit game, that dude dropped dimes, just beautiful throws. You can't say he doesn't have the arm to do it. If he has the time, he's shown that he can do it. Now, you can't say, hey, go be a superstar, go carry my whole team. You don't have a defense, but you got to win me games. It's not going to happen.
No.
That's not who he is. But he will if he has the defense, which by all means, they have the defense.
Yeah.
This kid can get it done. I think he can compete with the Packers, and if the Vikings get it together, they've kind of looked spotty. I think they can compete for that division this year.
So
what do you got?
So let me ask this. Here's the thing that why I'm so doubtful about Mitchell Trubisky. I never questioned his reads. Even last year, he had great reads. That's not what I'm faulting him for. What I'm faulting him for is the arm. You just don't have the arm. And I don't think you will have the arm, because when it comes to when you have to throw a 50-yard pass, can you make that pass? Are you able to make that pass? Are you capable? I don't think he's capable. You have the legs, you got the read. I just don't need you to be another Kirk Cousins. I don't need that.
I mean,
You know,
that's
you
true.
gotta-
I mean, I can agree with that.
the Bears have the Falcons. Tomorrow. The only
It's
thing they
at
have to,
Atlanta.
yeah, at Atlanta, the only thing they have to do is just go down 20 and just wait for halftime.
Because the other team doesn't come out of the locker
Things like
room.
that's the trend in Atlanta right now. So I mean, look. I hope he has a good game. I hope he has a good season. I hope he can change my mind. But come back to me at week 8.
I agree with that. We will do
We
that
will.
also. Trust
we
me.
will. I promise you.
We'll be back to that. So, all right. So another hot take. We're gonna throw this right on that 49ers fan who seems to be the only one in the room today. Oh, hey, what's up, man? Boom. The spotlight is on you. What are we gonna do? We got Mullins starting tomorrow. We're going back to that trash field that mortalized half the team. Let's be real. I want to say right out the get-go, I think the 49ers will be okay. I think even though the stats show they don't play well without Jimmy, I think tomorrow they take care of business. I don't think they can fall too far behind if they want to stay in the race for this division and or a wild card spot. I think that division's way too good. I think they have to go in and kind of, let's be real, beat up on a Giants team. Daniel Jones is good. Giants are good. I don't think they're quite there yet to take care of this team, go in and boom, that next thing you know, Giants are up 30-10 or something, getting a victory. I don't think we're going to see that happen. I think we'll see a grindy game. I think you'll see the 49ers get out with like a 7-point win late.
Here's the question that I have. There's a difference between looking at the 49ers and then when you're looking at the Eagles as far as the injury bug this year. The 49ers have the depth. They have the depth.
Yeah.
They lost Bosa, they lost Thomas. Still doesn't make a difference. They still have just as many pass rushers.
Lost Sherman.
They lost Sherman, but I think
Witherspoon was out last week with a concussion. That's both starting corners.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think they'll be okay. They have the depth. I don't think they're going to lose a step. The only question is, can they do it with Nick Mullins?
That's what I was going to say. Historically, I think they're like, 4-21 without Jimmy?
We've only won 5 times without Jimmy G. The other victories come with it.
Here's the thing. I say start CJ Beathard. I've always liked him. I like his talent. He just need a coach that can believe in him. And I think he's got it. I just think he needs time to be on that field. And until they give him the time, they keep letting Nick Mullins come up as the second option. You'll never see it. I think they should have started CJ Beathard. He showed a lot of good things last year when Jimmy G went out. I think, and I don't see why Nick Mullins is the starter for next week, but we'll see.
I think the biggest thing is honestly when I look at both of those quarterbacks, Mullins and Beathard's, I think you just approach it with how your mindset. Do you want to be a gambler and take chances? You go with Mullins. If you want to be conservative but smart and methodical, you stick with CJ Beathard. And I think really if I were to have a chance to talk to Kyle Shanahan, I'd say be conservative. Why not utilize a run game that we know that the 49ers have? Take less off.
Do what you're used to.
Yeah, exactly.
Be conservative.
Exactly. Don't go out here and try to sling the ball around with Nick Mullins. Don't try to throw the ball 30 times with this kid. This is not going to be good. And then you're going to have the defense out there playing the whole game. Can the Giants win? Yeah, the Giants can win. Did they lose Barkley? Yeah, that's huge. Obviously, that pretty much is their playmaker on offense, but
they got
football, they're all pros.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't they go get like a big running back? Have they got Freeman? And don't they have Deion Lewis?
Oh, yep.
So that's a pretty good tandem.
They're all pros. Everybody plays in the NFL for a reason. It's not like they can't do their job. So the 49ers have to go out. They have to do their job, do what they're coached. Obviously the coaches are going to come up with a good game plan, but let's see how the depth guys execute this plan on a Sunday Then, I mean, let's be honest. The 49ers need these guys to execute. We can't take 5 steps back and expect us to keep up with the Seahawks and the Cardinals, and the Rams at the rate they're playing. We dig ourselves too big of a hole. We're going to put ourselves. We'll be looking for a high draft pick.
That's true. That's exactly pretty much what I was saying. Are you kind of in agreement with that, Jonah? Or you got a nice take over there?
I think they're going to be fine. Offensively, they're going to be I think they're going to lose a step a little bit, but I don't think it's going to be enough to really affect anything.
I need you to correct me on something because I asked this question earlier to another 49ers fans. How many years do Jimmy G has left on his contract? The contract.
I believe it was a 5-year contract, so I believe it's 3.
Yeah. And this is what, second season, missing the season due to injury, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Just to make sure I had it right.
Yep.
I was told no, he didn't miss 2 games. He didn't miss 2 seasons due to injuries. With his big contract. Yeah, he did. His first year.
Yeah.
His first contract year.
No, we need to. We still have time with him. Unfortunately, this happened in a unique situation. A lot of these guys are under contract, so they'll be back next year. But do you want to waste any of these years? No. I mean, and unfortunately, for any NFL fan, period, it's not going to be fun not to see Nick Bosa out there terrorizing a quarterback, one of the best out there, and it's fun just to watch him, even if you're not a 49er fan. So I mean, it's sad in that aspect. I just hope to see them play at a good level. I mean, I'm not setting my expectations through the ceiling. Definitely not, because I'll definitely be falling hard if I do.
I like that. So we're gonna have some fun here. We're kind of serious about some things, so we just gotta kind of reel it back, and kind of just throw some fun into some things.
Oh no!
Boom. Beyond,
Oh, no.
I should say beyond way too early, but it's something to have fun with. This is something we'll touch on obviously throughout the season. So we're going into week 3. Obviously, we'll get into the recap of Thursday Night Football here soon. Obviously, we know how that went, Oh, but beyond that, what are we thinking MVP wise? I mean, I'll throw out there what I got so far in what is 2 weeks. I got Josh Allen, because I mean the dude's just balling.
He's way too early.
Yeah. So
put more wise on that banner there.
Yeah, more wise.
Yes. So Josh Allen looking good. And I say that because if Buffalo's going to do anything, he has to keep playing at the level that he's playing at right now. He's taking care of the ball. I think he might have had a fumble, maybe 2, when that comes to like running, whatever. But throwing-wise, I don't think he has any interceptions on the season. He's right up there. A lot of people are saying Russell Wilson. I totally agree with that too. Russell Wilson's definitely up there, no doubt. Dude's playing lights out right now. Totally agree with that 100%. If I had to say, I don't know, what's a dark horse? Well, come back to me on that. We're gonna go to Albatross on this.
Honestly, at this point, oh man, really, how can you look outside of the reigning MVP, Lamar Jackson? Does it look like he skipped a page? I don't feel like it. I mean, the guy comes running out of week 1 like he didn't miss a single step. So I think it's hard to look past him. And I would have to say definitely, I would definitely go with Russell Wilson also. I mean, again, just year in and year out, the same guy, same passes, extending the same plays and making defense look stupid.
I can agree with that. I would definitely have to say, I have to put Lamar up there, definitely. Okay, CJ, what's up?
So, let me say this. I'm not taking anything away from Lamar, but look who you played. First 2 weeks, look who you played. You still put up numbers. I'll give you that. Holler at me week 8. But this is my light course and my dark course. Okay, I'm talking my dark course first, and this might be a little bit far fetched, but Matt Stafford.
Okay.
Matt Stafford. Here's why. Matt Stafford, whatever they're doing there in Detroit, it's working a little bit. There's still some things that need to be worked out. There's still some things that need to be practiced. But I think having those running backs there, and then having the veteran of Adrian Peterson there with them, they have something. They have something there, and that's what Matt Stafford needed this whole time. He needed a running back company. That way, he's not throwing 30, 40 times a game. At his age, he can't keep that up. You've seen Tom Brady in his first week. You can't keep that up. Not at your age. So Matt Stafford is my dark horse. Way too early. But here's where I turn to, as another quarterback who I believe not at all has lost his no matter even the close games. And that's Russell Wilson. His last 2 weeks has been phenomenal. Rather it's close games or rather it's a rout. He has managed the game like no other. Never got bothered when the lead was lost or anything. Russell Wilson kept stepping in and just letting it fly. And I think with this year and what everybody is going through as far as the pandemic, this is his year. This is his year to show that he is that same Super Bowl quarterback that a lot of people forgot about.
Okay. See, Jonah?
I definitely agree with Russell Wilson. I'm not going to get too much into that just because,
Speaks for
everyone else
itself.
already has. I think my dark horse this year, and I think he's just going to get better and better as the season goes on, is Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Kyler Murray, he finally got another weapon with DeAndre Hopkins, and I think they're just going to light the league up this year.
They have been so far.
Yeah, he's been running the ball real well when he needs to. He can throw the ball, and I think that they're a team to watch down there.
Definitely. Okay. Let's see. So, yeah, I'm going to agree with that. Definitely. I like the Kyler Murray thing. I watched him week 1, when watched the 49ers, all that situation. Watched that, and he looked good. I mean, really, the plays with his feet was the difference. It wasn't that they were designed runs. It was, I'm going to scramble out of the pocket because there's no one watching.
He looks like a young Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You could say looks like he's probably been watching tape or something. Because you see it, the dude's playing out of his mind. It's good stuff. And so, yeah, I think we'll leave that at that for now. Obviously, like I said, we'll come back to that as weeks progress. Obviously, we just entered week 3, so here we are. So then we'll go thoughts and predictions going into week 3. Obviously, Thursday night's done. Obviously, done and dealt with. But with all the games we got going on tomorrow, excuse me, matchups and whatnot, what do you think is going to be the thing to watch for tomorrow, Albatross?
Well, I think a lot of eyes are going to be on all the teams that have injuries, big injury lists. I think that's something that everyone's going to watch just because there's, a couple teams dealing with some injuries. I think the other ones are always to watch, Drew Brees, what Drew Brees is doing, what Tom Brady's doing. And then now, since Cam's demanding respect, everyone's going to be paying attention to what Cam's doing, I think, a little more. Obviously that new team in the desert doing pretty well, creating some noise out there. So I think there's a lot of good games. I think there's a lot of excitement for a lot of good teams. But, again, we're early. We're early, and there's a lot of things to happen. And with the lack of preseason, it was huge. I think my biggest thought so far is this is what, I guess we get our first little quick snippet of what a season would look like without preseason. A lot of people argued to take it away. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea because we get to see our depth that these organizations draft. You get to watch these guys get their bodies ready to prepare for the season. We have less injuries because of it. So I think this is a good season to look back and realize what the sport does to these guys' bodies and what we need to let them do to take care of themselves so that we can enjoy watching them play the game because it's a lot of fun.
So yeah, all right, I like that. That's awesome. And what are we thinking? Anything else going on with that? How about you, Jonah? What are your thoughts for the weekend?
I think all eyes are going to be on that San Francisco game with all the injuries there. Everyone's going to want to see how they play with, especially Bosa out, Jimmy G out. Everyone just wants to see how it plays out. And I think a lot of people are also going to tune in to watch that Patriots and Raider game.
Yes.
I mean, there's just a lot going on, especially watching Drew Brees, seeing how he does. It's going to be a fun weekend.
CJ.
I have to agree definitely with Alcatraz. Everybody's going to be paying attention to a lot of these teams that have multiple injuries on their side. San Francisco, Niners, you have the Eagles, and those things play a big part, especially when they're your star players. Eyes going to be on Cam. One of the biggest games of the season is going to be that Monday night game. If everybody's going to be tuning into that game.
Mm-hmm.
MVP versus the Super Bowl MVP. So it's going to be a battle. One of my things that I'm really tuning into, and might sound a little bit biased because this is my team, but it's Washington. It's just time to see what Ron Rivera is going to do about getting Dwayne Haskins started early. You can't be waiting until halftime to turn the light on.
Gonna get those quick starts.
Yeah, you definitely need to get him started early. Whatever you have to do, you just have to find a protection for this kid. He's not bad. He's getting a lot of grief about his first 2 weeks with the with the Washington fan base and other people saying that he's not it. And right now, yeah, maybe he's not it, but he's going to be it, and that just comes with the coaching time. And it's just unfortunate that with this pandemic, that is not helping him at all. Before the pandemic happened and them stopping them saying no preseason, there was a lot of people saying, do we really need preseason games? Obviously you see what not having preseason does to all the 32 teams in the NFL. There's injuries, and not just normal injuries. I mean, like season or half season injuries. Those play a big part. Usually you see like a hamstring a guy for like 2, but you getting sprained MCLs and torn ACLs and torn Achilles, stuff like that. This is big. So this having not having preseason, has affected everybody, and I hope now everybody sees that preseason is not just a waste of time. It gets players ready.
Yeah.
Rest your starters, show a little what your backups can do in your third string, show a little bit what they can do, build their stock, and then you get your starters ready for the season. That didn't happen, and you see what's going on now. I never seen San Fran bend down the way they have. I never seen the Eagles bend down the way they have except for last season. One team that I really got my eyes on right now is the Steelers and Big Ben. Big Ben has been very good. He's been very good, and that's going to be another game a lot of people looking at. It's the Watt battle. You got J.J. Watt with the Texans, and then you got TJ there. Also with the little brother. So,
Right.
but I think Big Ben is also another big candidate for comeback player of the year. And I don't think he's thinking to look back.
Definitely. I like all that. That's good stuff. That's what I was thinking. I totally agreed with Big Ben being the comeback. Go ahead.
One more major prediction. Rookie of the year, Chase Claypool.
Okay. Yep. He showed up huge. He showed up huge at times for that team. I've seen that many different times. Even when I just tune in, just watch a couple minutes of their games, you see him show up. It's very interesting. The kid's solid. I would say going into this weekend, I totally agree with you guys with what you're saying when it comes to the whole situation of watching teams with the injuries. How are teams going to do? How are they going to perform? Are they going to be able to carry on for a couple weeks, get some guys back, make those pushes, or are you done, certain things like the Niners, you lost certain people for the whole season. Are you going to still be able to fill those holes for this season to take care and, do what you need to do? This weekend, again, it'll be interesting to see since, the 49ers brought in a special team to look at the MetLife field because they feel that the turf itself is junk.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun stuff to watch. I'm happy, obviously, this week, but, I am going to be watching the Seahawks this week since they come to town next week. Obviously, we know what to expect from the Seahawks and Russell Wilson, but I'm still curious to see, how dynamic they look on offense. I mean, that DK Metcalf is looking just broken, to say the least.
But didn't he look broken last year?
Oh, I know, but you can see he's making that year 2 stride. He's learning and taking care of things the way that you would expect him to. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's good to see because the thoughts on that kid, I was hoping that Miami was going to grab him in the draft. I'm just like, this kid is an absolute monster.
And he definitely is.
So.
Uh-oh. Is this a gloat moment? I gotta ask. Is it a gloat moment?
No, I won't. Like I said, I won't sit up here at any point in time and preach on my soapbox things that aren't true. So, no, I don't. You get out of here. So, I picked them to win coming in. Obviously, I was one of very few. At one point, I had heard that 90% of the money was bet on Jacksonville in that game. So that, kind of says it all. Interesting. But I was very happy with what you saw. You saw a team come out who they're, 2 plays, a play away from beating the Buffalo Bills last week. They didn't turn the ball over a whole lot. They had some missed opportunities, and that's kind of what cost them. One being a drop touchdown at 4th and goal by, good old wonderful Preston Williams. But that's that. He ended up coming back this week, touchdown this week, kind of recouped himself. So I'm happy with it all. I'm very happy with how we looked this week. There's a lot of growth. That offensive line was opening holes, and spending the money we did, can anybody in the room tell me that Myles Gaskin was going to be the leading rusher in Miami this year?
No.
Yeah. The kid looks real good too. I think when I saw, he was averaging at least 5 yards a carry this year.
And this goes back to me saying, try your rookies, try your young guys.
Yeah.
You might not think that they have it, but they have it. It's how I feel about Zakk Moss. You see they got him out there, run these reps.
Yep.
DeAndre Swift, they got him out there, one of those reps. This is what you got to do.
It's true.
And in Washington, they got Antonio Gibson, one of those reps, and you see how he gets better every week. So, but that Miami game, was a game to watch. I had no doubts in my mind that Miami was going to win simply because at the end of the day, it's Jay Gruden. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's Jay Gruden. And that look on his face every time when they're losing, it's like, okay.
Yeah, he just don't know what to do. He's just like, help.
Get him next time. Like you know the look. Everybody knows the Jay Gruden look now. You
Yep.
know, it's just that look. And honestly, and it sucks because I like Gardner Minshew so much. But I think even with Jay Gruden being head coach, I think with Jay Gruden being the head coach, and I still think Gardner Minshew can be a top quarterback this year.
Yeah. Jonah?
My biggest thing on
Go ahead, sorry.
on the Thursday Night Football game was honestly just how.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Okay, sorry. Was honestly just how the defense played for the Dolphins. They just the first two games they allowed 7.2 yards per play, and then on Thursday Night Football they dropped it all the way down to 4.9. So I mean, I'd say the defense showed up. I definitely think they got off the bus that game.
We had 4 sacks.
Yep. And then you go to the offensive side, and you guys are very efficient on third downs. I know at least through the third quarter, you guys were 4 for 5 on third downs with an average of 4.6 yards per third down. I mean, you look at those stats, and you guys are taking care of business on third downs. Third down, you scored, I think, a touchdown on a third down play, if my memory serves me correct. But they played solid. They didn't listen to what was being said outside that locker room. Like you made the comment at the start of the show that the narrative is not very positive around a Dolphins team that's trying to grow. But that's okay. As long as they don't listen to what the talking heads around the world are saying,
right,
they'll be okay. As long as they listen to the man who's their coach and continue to do what he says, I think the Dolphins organization is moving in the right direction. Has it been a long time? Yeah, it's been a while. So I think you'll definitely be happy with your product when it finally falls into place.
Jonah?
The defense is fun to watch. They get after it. But all I can really say about Thursday night is the beard is cooler.
Love it. Yeah, I was.
They're a real fun team to watch. I'm really excited to see what else they can do this year. But
I think it was good that Fitz came out and kind of silenced people that were like, "Oh, we need to start Tua. We need to start Tua." Like, no, he had one bad game to start the season. He threw 3 picks. Since then, has taken care of the ball and hasn't turned the ball over since. I'm going to knock on wood over here and hope it stays that way coming into next week. Obviously, it's another tough task, but this team doesn't – we're not going to be facing easier opponents as the season goes on. We're going to continue to play difficult teams who have got it together. We have to play the whole NFC West this year. We got the Seahawks coming up, and then I believe the week right after, we go to play the San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, they're injury-riddled, but again, as we all discussed earlier, that team has depth, and they damn well listen to what Shanahan and them boys want them to do. So I'm curious to see where it goes. I like the development. Solomon Kinley is probably, I'd say, top 5 best Dolphin performing-wise. Rookie right guard, the dude is just moving people, pancaking people, doing everything you want to see from a young kid, out there performing against veterans. He's doing it and doing it consistently. I, as a fan, haven't seen running lanes like this for running backs since like Ricky Williams days. It's been a long time since I've seen holes that a line was actually putting together and not just someone finding their way through nothing. Like, I'm happy with it. I'm not, again, going to say, oh, we're going to win it all. No, not even close. It's a work in progress, and it shows me that we're going the right way. At the beginning of the season, I called an 8-8 team. Right now, it's showing me it could be pretty damn well close to that 8-8. So, does anybody else got anything else? We good? How about the Jags? Do the Jags recap? And I mean, because honestly, going into the game, like I said earlier, they were hot. Minshew was tied with Russell Wilson in touchdowns. They're doing great, red hot. And then Miami showed up, like we said, took care of business. And they, in my mind, it looked like they kind of got blindsided by Miami on Thursday night.
Jay Gruden's offense.
They were not prepared.
Jay Gruden's offense. Jay Gruden's offense doesn't have a structure.
True.
And when you're winning in the first, when you're doing good in the first half, and you make no type of adjustments, this is what happens. It's Jay Gruden, and always will be. It sucks for the Jaguars, but that's just how I feel about it. I don't think Jay Gruden is a good head coach. He's a hell of an offensive coordinator. I'll give you that. But as a head coach, there's no structure, and you see that you've seen that on the offense. After the second half, it was dead. It was
Right.
dead. No life, and that's just what Washington had to deal with, in tenure Jay Gruden as a head coach. And until things happen, he has to learn how to make adjustments, proper adjustments. So, that's just how I feel about it. But Gardner
Right.
had a great game, though.
He did. He played well. And then I think you bring up a good point. There are some good coaches that are not good coordinators, but then there's good coordinators that are, not good coaches. I don't know. Sometimes it just doesn't play hand in hand. So sometimes, if you're a good coordinator, just stick to what you're good at. And in Gruden's position, I think he should have just stuck to coordinating the offense.
Exactly.
Let's use the 49ers as an example. Prior to us hiring Kyle Shanahan, we promoted a defensive line coach. You're talking a guy who runs a room of 8 guys max to running a football team of 53 guys. Is he going to be able to communicate to 53 guys when maybe he was having a hard time communicating to 8? I think that's where you kind of look at a front office and go, are you guys
Hello.
making the right decisions here? So
Not.
All right. I like it. So we're going to transition into basically what is the final topic of this second edition of what is Saturday Night Sports. Wonderful NBA playoffs. I want to start with CJ here. He's all on that whole Boston train and Boston, and how about all that Boston? And woo, 3-2. How you feeling?
So here's where I'm at with it. Whatever happened a couple of nights ago with, there was a big spat in the locker room. Whatever happened with that, they applied that, and was able to win these next games that was crucial. These games are crucial. Gotta become 3-3.
Right. Uh-oh. It's all right. Technical difficulty real quick. No big deal. It's all good. I'm happy with what's going on in the playoffs. I mean, you have game 5, I believe. Lakers Nuggets just starting.
Yep.
And it's the latest score. It was 5-2. I don't know if obviously it's probably changed since then, but
5-4.
5-4. Yeah, I think. I'm saying now.
comment.
I think Lakers come out and close tonight. I think it happens. They changed it when they started. Is Dwight starting again?
Yep.
I think that's the difference. As soon as they started him last game, the way that he's been able to get into people's heads and physically battle with these big men and kind of just wear on them. He got a double-double starting last game. I think you see another
11.
Yep, I think you see another double-double from Dwight Howard this game.
Yep.
And I think you get another 50, 60 combined between LeBron and AD. They take care of business. Boom, you're in the finals.
That's the other thing you got to watch, though, is AD rolled that ankle last game. So, he finished out that game. So I think he's going to be all right, but it's just something to watch.
I'm going to have to turn it on and check it out. Go ahead, Albatross.
I want to make a comment back on the Boston thing. I think if you're Boston, you really need to win the series. You went out and got Kemba Walker to solidify an already solid lineup. I think at this point, it's not like they're playing with house money at this point. They got it pretty invested. They need to win, and I'd say win now. Utilize the opportunity you have. Kemba was playing at his best ball of being in the NBA. Utilize it. Hopefully they can pull out a victory. Obviously, Miami's playing hot. just good team down there. And again, they're not asking Jimmy Butler to be the guy. I mean, every time that's happened, we've watched what he does. He runs to another team and destroys another locker room. But that's another conversation for another day.
Amen.
On the Lakers side of things, I think Lakers fans should be okay. Should be calm. Things will be fine. The experience you have on that side, you have LeBron James. A good way I heard him described earlier. People talk about Michael being the greatest of all time, Kobe. They were great because they made people win their way. It wasn't, we're going to win the Chicago Bulls way or the Los Angeles Lakers way. We were going to win the Kobe way or the Michael way. LeBron makes people win as a team. He makes their better qualities better. I think that's what really separates him from the pack. I think the Lakers are going to be just fine. They're playing against a team who is a microcosm of the bubble. This is what happens when you have that restart. It jumpstarts a team. We go pre-bubble. Are we talking about the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals? I don't think so. I think we were all talking about Clippers-Lakers to see who goes to the finals.
I was hoping. They totally let me down.
But was it a letdown? I think again, maybe I want to make a comment on that too. People question PG. PG can't play. PG can't play. His history shows he slumps in the playoffs. Yes. I think this was going to be a different year. Nobody predicted everything was going to get shut down and we were going to drop seasons and shorten seasons. I think you let the season go. I think the Clippers go to the finals. 100%. I think the restart gave certain teams this wonderful little boost that just created awesome opportunities to see some really good talent that hasn't been showcased before.
I think we were going to get a Clippers-Lakers Western Conference Finals for sure. And I say that because before everything shut down, you had this critical weekend where LeBron played the Bucks and the Clippers, and I believe it was 2 out of 3 nights, and took it to them both.
Yep.
Took it to them both. Like they had lost to them all season, and then on just this weekend, LeBron was like, "Oh hey, what's up? I'm still here," and he put that to silence real quick. Lakers are rolling, and then like you said, boom, and then now you have a Denver Nuggets team who's in the Western Conference. Not to say they're not bad. Or good. I'm not saying they're bad and none of that. I'm not taking nothing away from what this team is. They got talent. But to say that they were going to be in the Western Conference Finals ahead of the Clippers and the Lakers, that so on and so forth is totally. I would have been like, no, you're wrong.
I'm going to just flat out say this. There's only 2 types of teams in the playoffs. You have a team with the dominant 5 and a team with a bench.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Lakers have that. They have a bench.
Oh, yeah.
Heat has a bench. Boston has a bench. Nuggets have a bench. The Clippers had a 5. The Blazers had a 5. That plays a tremendous factor. That plays a tremendous factor in the playoffs. Your starting 5 can't go 7. Can't go 7 off the board playing over 30 minutes a game. It can't happen. Something has to give. And this is where Brad Stevens has made the adjustment and not allowing your starting 5 to come out with 30 minutes a game.
Yep.
I get it. They're the starters, but we have a bench.
That's why it's a team game, right?
Yeah, exactly. And don't get me wrong. I like where the Lakers is headed, but don't count the Nuggets out yet.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, don't count the Nuggets out yet. The Nuggets. I think the Nuggets do well dropping the way they're dropping. And same thing with Boston. You know, we were always a team in the conference finals to where we win 3-1. You know, a lot of the games that you know, in our playoff history, you know, when we won the conference finals, it either went 7 or we were down 2 games. You know, 3-1. Jason Tatum is by far is the best player in this conference series right now. I like Hero. Don't get me wrong, but Jason Tatum shows that he's ready to be the face.
Yep.
And to be the face, you just got to make smart decisions. And last night, Jason Tatum made the smart decisions as a leader, and that's not very shot. You know, getting the ball to your teams the way you're supposed to. You know, I just don't think the last 2 games that we lost back to back, you know, was Jason Tatum not making the right decision at the time where we needed to. And you can see with these last 2 wins that Jason Tatum has put put his team in a position to win. So I think this is still Boston's series to win.
I like that. Yeah, I definitely think it's possible. We've seen many teams come back, obviously, in deficits this playoff series due to the bubble, and I think there's another opportunity to do it again. I think either of these series could still be wide open. It's going to be key. It's going to be key to see how the first 2 quarters of this Lakers-Nuggets game goes. Are the Nuggets going to come out and just totally try to rack up a deficit and try to make the Lakers play from behind? Or is it going to be close going into half? If it's close, I'm saying the Lakers are closing this out and it's done. Like it's over. Like they know how to take care of business because it goes back to what you said, Albatross. LeBron and Michael and Kobe kind of demanded people to do things their way. And this is what we're seeing from LeBron. He's brought AD in and knew what AD brought to the team and was like, hey, I need you to do this. They went out and got Dwight Howard, brought him back after that first terrible tenure with the Lakers. Boom, brought him back. Looks phenomenal. Dude might be older, but he's still banging with people, getting rebounds, scoring, doing what you want. That's
what happens when you
it's fun to watch.
Yep.
That's what happens when you bring stars.
Right.
You know, I think you can. You know, I hate to be that guy. But you know, I like LeBron. I think he's phenomenal. I think he's by far, you know, the best player in this generation.
Yeah.
You know, that goes without question. You know, but you know, it's just like when I see Shaq and Charles Barkley go at it. You know, during the post game and during the halftime reviews. You know, it's just like, you know, you have stars. You're supposed to do that. You know, you have stars in the shows. You know, but like this Lakers team is not just stars. They have tremendous role players, and they got guys who can relieve these star players and put points in the scoreboard. And you know, this is why this Lakers team is just so good. You know, they brought in some role players. They drafted some young guys, and you know they got the ball rolling.
I think a lot of the guys the Lakers brought in had that championship pedigree. I mean, Rondo's won, Danny Green's won. You know, these guys know what it takes to play the entire season, play the playoffs, and get those hard wins when you're just beat, bodies torn up. You know, but it's when it means the most. So I think the Lakers are going to be fine. They'll be playing for a championship this year.
12-11, middle of the first. So I think that's what we'll leave it for tonight's show. Nice topics, nice round. We'll go ahead and we'll send CJ and Jonah off. We thank you boys for jumping on, and we appreciate everything you got to say and all that wonderfulness. We appreciate you guys, and we will look for you guys next week.
Awesome.
Later, guys. So, you know, I'm sitting here, and since we had such a good show, I think we end with the bird's
Oh
nest
no, we go
too.
back to the bird's nest.
What? I'm gonna let you end it. I think it was a good show. I think we had everything, good topics. We had a great discussion on many levels. So I think I'll go ahead and pass it to you and see what you think for the bird's nest of the evening to cap it off.
Well, I'm gonna have my moment here, and I'm gonna talk about Jimmy G. A lot of haters out there on Mr. Jimmy G. I hear all the time he can't do it, he can't do it. Yet last week has a high ankle sprain, stays out there, and misses maybe a couple incompletions max. Gets the team in the position to be comfortable, holds the victory because there was really not much offense to be seen in the second half. Let's be honest. I don't understand what he has to do to get that monkey off his back. Quote Steve Young here.
Yep.
Maybe that's what he has to do. I feel like, unfortunately, the only thing that's going to change anything is the Lombardi Trophy. You get the team there. You had control. Things happen. It's a game. There's a winner and a loser every time. So I think I just want to see him do well. I want to see him stay healthy. I want to see the ability for him to carry the team. He's going to have some good weapons come back. Debo Samuel is going to be back. He's got Brandon Ayuk there. We picked up Mohamed Sanu. There's some role players and some really good skill players. I think if he takes and leads this team to a playoff berth with no Nick Bosa, no Solomon Thomas, certain guys not being there, I think it's about time for him to get the respect. Maybe not all go to Cam so much, but I think Jimmy G's in need for some respect.
I like it. I totally agree. I think Jimmy's definitely talked down upon by a lot, and I don't necessarily agree with all the disrespect he gets. Everyone's going to get, their little bit of dissecting. That's a part of being in the spotlight in any sport. But I do think there's some things about him that's totally unfair that people kind of make the narrative of him, that he's a bad quarterback. Jimmy G can't be the guy. I don't agree with that. I think he can be the guy. It's just, like you said, we need to see him healthy and we need to continue to see him progressing. There's nothing right now that shows me that Jimmy in any way, shape, or form can't be the guy.
Right.
So
I agree 100%. I think we just need to let him do his thing. I'm glad that he's keeping a positive mindset and just wants to play football. He doesn't. I feel like he does a great job of leading the team. I mean, we've definitely had some time where we haven't had a great quarterback. So, I feel like he's a good quarterback who can be great. Does he have the skill set of other individuals? No, but I feel like he has a good football IQ, and that makes up for a lot.
I agree 100%. I like it. Well, I think with that, again, we'll go ahead and get her out of here. And I thank you for being here on the second episode. And we look for you next week with the rest of the supporting cast. So we thank you all for joining us on Saturday Night Sports. And you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend.